Good evening, and welcome to another live stream from the Every Game City. I'm joined by two wonderful friends of mine to play some Dungeons & Dragons in a Lovecraftian-inspired homebrew campaign in my homebrew world of Manitar. I'm sure nothing weird will go on here. As usual, though, I usually have to do some... I'm in a real role today. And then he screws it up because he talks about being in a role. Fuck! As usual, at the start of these streams, there are a couple of announcements I have to make. The first of those is I'm affiliated with Fantasy Grounds. If you'd like to support the channel, but also get yourself to Fantasy Grounds, you can do so by clicking the link that's going to be appearing in the chat in a moment once I get my fingers engaged in typing affiliates. As well as also, if you're watching this later on YouTube, down in the description below, where you can click the link and it'll take you through to Fantasy Grounds, where you can get all your bits and pieces of Fantasy Grounds, like subscriptions, as well as also stuff for Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, and other bits and pieces as well. It does not cost you anything extra, but Fantasy Grounds says thank you for supporting us and showing off our stuff, so it gives me a little bit of a thanks in that regard. So if you'd like to do that, if you'd like to use the link involved, you can, and that will help support the stream here. Also, I would say that Dungeon Fog has granted permission to use some miniatures, but we have no miniatures dotted around the screen. Don't worry, that'll happen. I have plans to do that. I need to talk with Ali about how her character looks, but don't worry, there'll be miniatures dotted around the screen soon, and you'll be able to see those off there. However, other people we do have to thank is the fact there is music going in the background. Hopefully you can hear that in the background. That all has been provided us by SiriusSat.com, Tabletop.com, Aaron Grimm, Festy Studios, Alexander Nakarada from Substar Studios, as well as Travis Savoy from RPG Music Maker. Many thanks to them for making music that we can actually have to enhance our gaming experience, enhance the background, and provide a little bit of sounds, a bit of a soundscape, which we can have here. Fuck, did I get through all the announcements? Oh, no, I haven't, obviously, because there's one announcement which I hate talking about, and that's the fact that if you'd like to support the channel, you could do so by clicking the donation link somewhere underneath this screen somewhere. And there are some suggested donation tips. Those are potions, money-hitting potions, rerolls, advantages, inspiration, and if you wish, you and I could work together to create a magical item that my players could end up discovering. Although this is a short-form campaign, so a magical item might not be useful in this campaign. However, I do run two other Dungeons & Dragons campaigns. One of them is called Scarlet Guard. The other one is called Fortune's Whimsy. However, Fortune's Whimsy is on a little bit of a hiatus until the beginning of next year. But you can also enhance the game experience and provide some stuff that my players might enjoy. You know, don't provide me with anything. I don't need it because I'm the GM. I'm god of this world, so I don't need anything. But my players might appreciate a little bit of input there.
You know.
Is that it? Yeah. No, that's genuinely it. I rock it through announcements now these days. Let's get into some character introductions. We'll start with Torteek, or rather, Chadwick, who runs the character Torteek. Could you tell us a little bit more about him for us, please, dear boy? Also, where can people find you?
Hello. Well, you can find me on most socials at wizardofdin, DND. Yeah, and you can hear some of my podcasts. One is a dramatic reading of The Legend of Drizzt, where I've done the first two books only, and I'm working on getting the third one taken care of here soon. And soon will be a actual play D&D game with a couple of my other friends from here in the States, where we take an adventure trying to save the Dungeons and Dragons multiverse. It's going to be kind of interesting once we get that going. And today, though, I am playing Torteek, a monk paladin sorcerer, Tortle monk paladin sorcerer, who kind of tends to lean a bit heavy on the drink, just because he has a hard time dealing with some realities. But you know what? He enjoys life quite a bit and very much loves his best friend, Lila.
Oh yeah, really does. Really does. And thank you for that segue. Ali, could you tell us a little bit about Lila for us, please?
Yes, hello. So Lila is the more of a classical mom, you could say. She loves tea and she loves all the sweet little things that make life beautiful, and that's kind of her calling to, bring like joyful literature to everywhere where she goes. Endless pockets of biscuits, for example. So Lila is also pretty kick-ass with all the monk fighting style moves, but for the rest, a more peaceful character, I guess, who likes to get dragged into Torteek's crazy ideas. It's an odd pair of friends going on adventures, but that makes it quite fun, I think.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. It's an odd pairing, but it's fun pairing. Yeah, with that, we're going to dive down into the session where our heroes have been travelling through a rather odd, very, very, very odd forest. This forest is full of creatures, but not the usual kind. There are no nice little foxes or rabbits or squirrels or birds or butterflies or any of that kind of wonderful stuff that you normally expect to find in the forest. In this forest, there are fleshy earth mounds, there are ghosts, there are creatures that are far too large to even want to exist within this forest. Because this forest is on
community content.
A community content bit, apparently. This forest, because that's the one thing that Siriuscope sometimes forgets to do is, this forest is on a set of islands far to the northwest, northeast of the of Manitar, called the Ghost Isles. And these Ghost Isles are so named because anything that goes there or visits there doesn't really return for some reason, or doesn't seem to be able to return. Passage can be arranged to this place, although not many people do. The place is usually avoided by traders and other peoples. Even pirates avoid this area. But our two heroes have gone there to face their fears. So they arrived here, met a few strange individuals, discovered that this place was not uninhabited. There was actually a town here. They met an individual called Kranodyn. They also met Lockjaw. Not Lockjaw. Is it Lockjaw? I need to look at my notes again. Either ways, they met the mayor of the town. Have taken a task from Kranodyn to go and find for him a medallion of some sorts within the forests here, despite several warnings by many of the peoples within the inhabitants, including the mayor himself, to not do that. However, our heroes have decided to try and alleviate their own curiosities as to what on earth is going on around here. Why are the people so laissez-faire, or so just sort of used to how everything is, and why they just don't want to make things better for themselves? They just sort of live with whatever the situation is in this area. So our heroes have ventured into the forests, where they dealt with a displaced beast, as well as also some riftlings, as they're called, and saw from afar this enormous creature of mainly torso and arms, and you hope there's a head on there somewhere, but you never actually saw it. Prowling through the forest here. They also had a conversation with two ghosts, which didn't attack them, and our heroes at least believe that is due to the fact that they had the two of them had emblems upon them, this statue kind of thing, and the ghosts didn't attack them but gave them a warning to leave this place. Of course, heroes being heroes, they don't listen to warnings and decide to venture further into the forest on the trail of this thing that Kranodyn has told them to try and go and find. They eventually found a mound. This mound was their target, where they needed to get to. And this mound was in a clearing surrounded by trees. As they tried to proceed into the clearing, there was some resistance. Some sort of magical force was trying to stop them from entering. In order to overcome this, they decided to leave their statues, these strange undersea statue that these statues seem to be coming behind in the forests, and stepped over the barrier from the woods that seemed to be this strange, quiet, creaking place, and stepped over the barrier. As you both step from one part, from this dark, creepy, silent forest, it is as though you are entering a different world. Light floods you both as you look up, and you can see a sky clear of clouds, clear of that dreary light that has been permeating the area around you. You can almost hear birdsong. You can hear things move, little creatures, squirrels.
Isn't that pretty?
It's as though you have stepped from one zone into another. There is grass underneath your feet. The light is bright and cheerful. And before you is the mound. It's not particularly high. It does rise up to a point where it does rise above your heads. But yeah, it's really quite pleasant. After everything that you both have been traipsing through, that depressive, almost horrible, claustrophobic feeling that the forest has been giving you. In front of you, you both see the closed entrance to this mound. But you no longer feel like you are being watched or oppressed or anything else, really. Feels nice.
I would like to... Yeah, actually, for Lila, that's a little moment of taking a few deep breaths and, like, you know, not a full meditation or anything, but okay, I feel connected to the gods again. I feel connected to, the part of the world I understand that I'm part of. You said last session there was an entrance somewhere into the mound, right? That we could
There
see.
was. Yes, there was. You can see the entrance that would lead into the mound itself. You can also see that it is closed off. There is a very large stone that seals the entrance closed. That bird needs to shut up. He's quite loud. Excuse me a moment. It was really quite loud.
Nice birds, but not like that.
Yeah, they're a little bit loud. So I'll just turn down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Turn down a bit. A little bit loud. But yeah, you can see the entrance there in front of you.
Well, I think that we should try going over there into that there entrance and see what's happening there.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Alright. You head over to the entrance, and you can see that there is a very large boulder. Well, it's not a boulder. It is a stone, extremely large stone. I can't describe it any other way. However, it does look to have been worked on one side, so that it then lies flat against whatever entrance is concealing.
Can we? Is it one of these Indiana Jonesy kind of stone doors that has a secret mechanism we could search for?
You could make an investigation check if you wish.
Could you make an investigation check for me, please?
I shall.
Yeah. I'm almost ready to.
You're good. You're good.
I take a hard swig out of me jug and I assist.
Okay. You have a look around for this. 18. All right.
Ooh.
Looking around, it doesn't look like there is, as you deemed it, a Indiana Jones style mechanism to this. It literally just looks like the stone has just been placed against the door.
Placed against the wall?
Down to pure muscle.
Just pure muscle, apparently.
Okay. Can we do it together? What do you think, Torteek?
Oh yeah, we can do it together. I look around to see if there are any like logs about or anything of that nature.
Oh, there are plenty of branches and logs around the place, and you are in the middle of the woods. You are literally in the middle of the woods, even though this is a clearing. So you could venture briefly into the woods to go and grab a large branch or something to give you some leverage. Absolutely, you can do that.
Yeah, I'll do that, and then I go and use that as like a lever to help us with moving it.
All right, sure. Roll me a strength check, or actually no. Tell you what,
I will assist you.
Roll me athletics, and since Lila is there helping in her slight form, you can do it with advantage.
Oh well, I forgot to hit the advantage there, so that's 13. And I hit roll it again to see what happens here. Yep, 13.
13. That's fine. With the branch jammed at the topmost parts, and you standing above it, Torteek, your usual weight with Lila's help, probably standing on top of the branch to lever the stone away from the entrance to the mound. It sits fast for a bit before eventually giving slowly, and you can hear the scrape of wood on stone and the rumble it makes as it falls backwards behind itself, revealing the entranceway beneath. And as it does, there's almost like this whisper of air that seems to exhale from the mound entrance, almost in a sigh, as the stone opens the way.
All right. Well,
Is the feeling, like just the atmosphere, is it still kind of nice and pleasant looking in there? The same, oh, it's just a nice forest kind of way, or is it creepy?
Outside, looking in, it still feels like it still feels nice. Looking in, unfortunately you don't have dark side, Lila, so you don't see much, but there is definitely an ominous sense of something within the darkness.
I would like to take a torch or lantern or something like that out of my travel pack.
Sure. Sure, absolutely fine. You do light it up. Lights with a nice crackling flare.
Mm-hmm.
And reveals a very short passage. Very, very short passage, which then seems to open out into a chamber beneath. Can't see much from outside, but it definitely looks like there is an internal chamber here within the mound.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Torteek, do you want to just go in, or do you want to do the, sense what is going on here first? How do you feel about this place?
We could go ahead and go inside and take a look. I think that would be all right to do. I'm thinking that I'm getting really tired, so some of me stuffs that I do, kind of is a little bit difficult to do right now.
Oh yeah, do not worry. We can venture forward just by our wits and braveness, I guess.
All right.
But I do have the feeling like the gods are back on our side here.
Well, let's hope that they are, because we're trying to do stuff for them, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You both proceed through the entranceway and along this short passage. Something that becomes extremely clear to you both very, very, very quickly. Is that, well, Lila, you can stand upright within this small passage because it's perfectly your height. Torteek, however, you are having to go on all fours just to get through this small passageway.
It's a small passageway.
But do you think you can fit in? Or should I get some butter from my pack to get your belly through the door? She's like elbowing him a little bit with a cheeky smile.
I think I could fit in anywhere. But this hole is kind of small.
It is. I will go first. You can come behind me. I can tell you where to duck your head. And Lila lets out like a small, one of these tiny small prayers and ducks into the cave entrance.
Sure. You duck in, and indeed the passage, this small entryway is maybe about 10 feet in length. It's really very, very short. And then it opens out into a quite large chamber space. Definitely high enough for Torteek to stand up in, although you do reckon, Lila, that he might have to duck his head a bit in order to stop his head scraping along the stone ceiling that's here within inside. And as you enter, you can still hear the chatter of birds on the outside, but inside it is very, very, very quiet. But as you enter the room, your firelight, or just your simple entry into the room, seems to bring a glow to the space. And you see now that within this area, as you enter, small groups of stones begin to glow with either a purple or a teal kind of light, which seems to illuminate the area around you. You find yourselves in what can only be described as a burial mound. You can see that in the center of this mound is this large stone plinth, upon which you see the mummified skeletal form of an individual, an individual on there. You can see that surrounding the plinth are I need to do a quick count of 6 shields, all of which are bearing the same emblem on them. On one side of the room, you see what looks to be a whole great pile of pots and urns. On another side, you see what's to be a very well, although quite old-fashioned, but decently carved table, upon which also appears to be some jewelry on there as well. And you see also a bound chest and a book, as well as also a very small weapon rack on the other side, filled with swords and spears. And last with that, you can see right in front of the stone plinth with the shields around it is a small pile of bones. And as you move around the room, you see another pile of bones, much larger in form, laid out, almost just lying on its side, as though whatever creature these bones belong to has just fallen asleep where they've fallen asleep in their spot.
Wait, who has fallen asleep in a spot? They just look like it?
It's just a pile of bones that looks like whatever creature these bones belong to has just fallen asleep and then just died in that spot.
The important word here was bones. That cut off for me a bit.
Bones.
That's more creepy. I thought there might be a nice cat or something. No.
Nope, it's just all bones. But you do also see that there is a smaller pile of bones situated beside this plinth surrounded by shields. Yeah. What do you do?
I would like to check out the skeleton and also like the weapons and stuff and see if there's any sort of hint about who they might be. So like maybe a sigil or an emblem or a letter or something that gives us a bit more information about this place.
Sure. Torteek, do you follow Lila into the mound?
Yeah, I'll do so. I squeeze in there best as I can.
Sure. All right. Then
Punching over.
Well, I'm not going to make you roll an investigation check, because the most obvious sign of whoever this individual was is emblazoned proudly upon every single shield that surrounds this stone plinth. You can see that it's okay. The shield type is called a heater shield, but it's the whenever you think of shield, it's that almost triangular type shield that is very common to see around these days.
Yeah.
You see that the shield is that type, but the shields themselves, the background of the shield seems to be split in 2 parts, from top left to bottom right. The top half is this very bright white color, although it's a little bit faded due to time. And the bottom part is this very, well, what would have been vibrant red if it weren't for the ravages of time. But on the 2 emblems that are emblazoned proudly on the shields, one looks to be a gold griffin with standing on its hind legs, claws raised out as though to strike, and the other side of the shield seems to be this very, very fine longsword held in an upright positioned in an upright fashion, not held by anything. It's just positioned in an upright fashion, and that is emblazoned on every single shield. As you look at the individual that's on the plinth here, you can see that the skin of the individual has completely rotted away to become almost like the skin has become adhered to the skeletal structure underneath. Whatever flesh that was on this individual when they were placed into the mound has clearly rotted away completely. And the armor that they're wearing is well, rusted and has fallen apart to the point it's basically not really usable anymore. You do see that the skeletal hands that seem to be holding the hilt of a sword that is laid lengthways downwards across the body, and you can see that around this skeleton's neck is a gold medallion, about 2 inches in diameter, held onto a gold chain that extends backwards behind the skeletal neck of the individual.
I will definitely not touch anything. That all feels cursed. Or at least like out of respect for the dead, I'm not a grave robber. But it does look like they've been deliberately placed there in some burial ritual, right? Like it's not some poor person ending up dead in there.
No. This look, everything within this mound looks as though it's been deliberately placed here.
Well, I like to think that this is something that I need to look at. So I walk up to this body corpse lying there, and I take a look at the medallion that you mentioned, or amulet that he has over his chest.
The medallion appears to be made of gold. It does look a little bit dirty, due to the dust and grime that slowly settles into a mound like this over time. But you can see on the medallion itself, there is an image of what appears to be a knight that stands triumphant with their swords held in two hands, driven into the head of what appears to be this strange, I would say it's dragon, but it's not a dragon. It is this lithe form with far too many arms that seem to extend outwards and almost seem to be trying to wrap their arms around the body of this knight. But this knight has its sword embedded into the head of, supposedly, the head of this creature.
Oh. Lila, does this thing here kind of look like, a weird lizard to you?
Does it? A little bit.
Roll me a nature check.
I would like to assist him.
Alright. See if you can get a little bit higher, Torteek.
What?
See if you can roll again, because Lila is assisting you with this nature check.
Oh, all right. Yeah, this is how I get.
So 17. This creature that you're looking at seems to bear a similar resemblance to the statues that you both have buried at the outside the perimeter of the clearing.
As the what?
They seem to bear a resemblance to the statues that you buried.
Interesting.
The statues that we buried?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm having a brain issue. I don't remember burying the statues. Oh wait, yes, I remember the statues now. Yes, I'm thinking large, big things, not the little tiny things that you're talking about.
I'm talking about those little tiny ones, yeah.
Yeah.
The little sculptures.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Statuette.
I think, Lila, this was the medallion that he said that we had to grab. I don't want to grab it, though.
Lila?
No, me Me neither. I don't think that's a good idea.
Lila, roll me a history check.
I can do that. I know. Did you do history? Oh, not that great. 7.
Yeah. Carry on.
Well, I'm just wondering here, right? If these resemble the little sculptures we got, but the sculptures don't seem to be able to get back here, whether they don't want to, or the spirit that lives here doesn't want to, or the gods, I don't know, but that seems odd, right? If they came from here or from a similar culture or religion or something, it should be possible to bring them back here. Or what do you think? It seems odd to me.
Well, I don't know, to be honest with you. I think this definitely means that we need to have another drink, because needs some deep thought for me, and I take a long drag out of me wine jug.
Mm-hmm.
Lila is crunching on one of her pocket cookies as she's thinking.
Torteek,
Yeah.
please roll me a religion check.
Oh.
20. Very nice. That's really, really good, actually. Really, really good. This burial mound would fall under the auspices of the god Mors.
Right.
Mors is the guardian of the dead. He is the one that gives meaning to life. He's the one that safeguards that precious moment when a soul leaves the body and transitions onwards to another plane. Because he is also the god of the dead, he also safeguards the places where the dead are buried, keeping them under his protection. And because they are under his protection, he has a certain influence over the dead who are buried there.
Uh-huh.
So, if you... There is a strong chance that should you disturb some of the items, potentially, within this burial mound, something may happen.
Right. So, it's not what we want to do. It could cause issues. I mean, those other spirits... Torteek is like suddenly talking to himself right now. He's just talking out loud. He's like, so if we touch this, those spirits we talked to would be pissed off with us because we moved this stuff in here after we said we wouldn't move it. But it's the same things that are keeping the ghosts away from bothering the city folk, or the town folk, or whoever the hell they are. So, oh bugger, I don't know what to do. If we get it for them, then we piss off the spirits and probably make it so that the evil in this area can go and take over this area. But if we don't do it, then then the ghosts and the spirits above the town.
I would like to do an investigation check, and maybe you can help me. Or are you good at investigation?
Wait, what? Who are you talking to, Lila?
Torteek. I think maybe you're a better investigator than I am, but I think I'd like some more. I'd like to find out a bit more of what's happening here before making that choice. There must be something here. I mean, have you ever heard of a curse without some scroll or tapestry or someone announcing it? Like, hey, I put a curse here. Usually people do that when they curse things.
Well, you know, the only curse I hear of is if you get bad grapes, you can't make wine, or you get bad barley, you can't make beer, or you get bad wheat and you can't make rye. That's a
Yeah,
curse.
it is. That's not quite what I mean, but
Lila,
yes.
roll me an intelligence check.
Are you calling me dumb or my character?
No. It's I'm trying to help you piece things together. I was about to say you can
I'm
also
calling
roll...
my character dumb.
No, they're not dumb. They're not dumb. But you're following a certain logic, and I would also like you to roll this with advantage. So roll your intelligence again. Because you're making some leaps of logic here, which I would like to. I'd like to assist you with, but I can't do that unless I see some results.
Thank you. Oh,
16.
16. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's nice.
So you can sense that you're onto something here. You get the sense that perhaps Kranodyn hasn't told you quite everything that he actually intends. You get the sense that there is some information that you're missing. When you look back, when you see the layout here and see how preserved and how cared for, as it were, this space is, and then you think about the statues and you think about the warning that the ghosts have given to you, perhaps the ghosts are actually the prisoners of something on this island, and Kranodyn's desire for you to get this medallion might not actually have anything to do with saving the town from the ghosts, but have something more nefarious in mind.
That was my feeling for a while. I mean, that just puts it a bit more into perspective, I guess. Listen, Torteek, I don't think...
Carry on.
I don't think it's a smart idea for us to touch anything here. I mean, you are a monk. We honor the dead. The gods honor the dead. We want to be honored by our descendants at some day when we are dead in the ground, right? That's just the respect that each generation brings upon the next. And
yeah,
this place is the only place in this entire island and forest that feels somewhat normal and like the gods actually have a foothold here. I sent out a prayer when we entered and nothing bad happened, right? Like, I don't think we should disturb this.
Oh no,
I think the disturbance is outside. Like whatever is wrong with this island is not here.
You think we gotta go further into the forest then to look around at things?
Maybe. Okay, let me think. So, the statues and sculptures protect us from the ghosts, but the ghosts are angry. They're angry at every human here, and they're angry at us for entering the forest, and they can't really harm us, but they're not happy. So,
it's like those other things. They are like I don't know, like a ward against the gods or against the divine, as it
Yeah.
were. So maybe um there's something else out here, or we go back to the village and we go and we demand to speak with. I don't know what I was saying. Where were we going now?
I would like to try something. It might be a bit insane, but okay. My theory is that I think the ghosts want to be led back into the realm of the gods, right? To enter the cycle of all things. They're held here, and they shouldn't be. They should be dead and with their gods, so that they can smile on their descendants and their ancestors, all that stuff. So,
Oh, yeah.
so
So you're saying that the ghosts are not with their gods?
obviously not, because the gods have abandoned the village. They've abandoned most of this island, right? Like when we did the ceremony back in the tavern, we felt
Yeah.
terrible. Something was attacking us for simply praying. So that means we should help the ghosts to get back to the gods and to be properly dead. We shouldn't help we will actually help the village by helping the gods and the ghosts. I think that's the correct approach here.
Oh, yeah. That sounds right. So we've got to figure out then what's going on. Maybe we should just go and beat up Kranodyn until he tells us what's going on.
I mean, that's always an option.
Yeah.
When diplomacy fails, I think that's an option. I
Yeah.
would like to try a little thing. It might be a bit dangerous, but I would like to go back outside where the birds are singing and nature feels normal. Set up a
Right.
little blanket and do a little tea and whiskey ceremony.
Well, you
But
know
like
what?
at the edge to where things get creaky and see what happens. Like I want to be on the nice side where the birds are singing, right?
Oh,
But
yeah.
maybe so close to the edge of the creepy things that ghosts could pick up on it and just see how they react. Without the sculptures, without anything, just out there doing our thing.
I think the ghost will attack us.
I don't think so. Because
Right. We could try that if you want to. Maybe we can go and look around inside here to see if there's anything else in this here place that
yes,
states otherwise what was going on this island before the village came in here.
yeah, let's see if we can find something. That's a good idea.
All right.
Okay.
I want to help you with your search, my friend.
Yeah. And look
Right,
around even better at everything.
Roll me investigation check then, please, Torteek.
With advantage?
If Lila is helping you, then yes.
Yes.
Oh. I like that. Lila and Torteek.
21.
Investigation. Ooh.
We are investigating dead bodies and ghosts.
Without touching anything, please.
So, without touching anything, looking around and making a thorough investigation, of this tomb, you see that the small pile of bones that is beside this plinth, which the body is laid on, they resemble a dog. They are the remains of a dog. You can see bits of matted fur that has left over from where the body where the dog has died. The larger skeleton on the other side are the bones of a horse. The weapons that are mounted on the weapon rack all appear to be variously ceremonial in design. None of them look like they would actually be usable in a fight. Or rather, you could use them, but they are not designed for that. You can tell that just by looking at one of the halberds that's standing up right there, that the balance is going to be way off just by looking at it.
Yeah.
The sword that is held within the clutches of the skeleton of the body laid to rest, that looks like it's actually had some use. It's being used, and most of it is pitted and rusted, but at the very end of it, where the tip of the sword is, that is not worn away. There is no rust there, but there is this very fine sheen of bluish-like fluid that seems to be stuck to the end of the blade. The body itself, you can't make out you can't make any injuries of that. You can't make out any place where the person would have been stabbed or anything like that at all. You do notice that the armor they're wearing is of a much more ancient time. Rather than it being nice plate armor, it is made of what appears to be leather with metal plates stamped or riveted onto the leather itself. The items that are around the place all appear to be offerings designed to guide the soul onwards, depending on the belief of this area. But also have a warding element against I'm now running into other territory here, so I have to be careful about what I say. They all seem to be warding items as well, not just guiding the soul onwards, but also seem to be warding items. As to the person, you don't know who they are. That would require a history check. As to the purpose of the items that require warding, that would require a religion check.
Right, well, let's see if I can figure out my history over here. How's that? 21.
The DC was 20.
Dude!
The DC was 20 of that.
Nice!
In your studies, Torteek, just sort of random books that seem to be interesting. You sort of vaguely read through them, but sometimes you were a bit too drunk to even take in what was there. Sometimes you were actually a little bit more sober and you were able to remember some of the stuff. This was one of those times where you were sober enough to remember what you were reading. The emblem, what really stood out to you was the heraldry that's on the shield. The rampant griffin, as it's called, and the upright sword, as well as also the colours red and white in the division that they are, is the heraldry of somebody called Brackus Fellhand. Brackus Fellhand was a knight of Vangale, and a knight of some repute who disappeared about 700 years ago when he embarked on a quest to rid the lands of an untold evil, or so the tale goes, and he disappeared on that quest and was never heard of again.
Well, this is interesting. I'll remember this. This is the heraldry of Brackus Fellhand.
Fellhand.
That's what I said, Fellhand.
Yeah, I heard it too, Torteek. That's exactly what you said.
And Yeah, I think this is where he went and disappeared and died when he was trying to get rid of some evil
Do you think
in
he
the area.
managed? The island is kind of full of evil, honestly. But somebody took the time and attention to bury him like this, like a proper warrior story, though.
I did see your religion check, Lila, and unfortunately, not really a strong point was religion.
No, I'm not the religious type. I know my own God, I guess, but not much more.
Yeah, I'm not really that religious either, but sometimes things happen.
Okay, so he was an adventurer out to get some big evil.
Let me see if I can remember anything religiously speaking. Nope.
Fortunately, with innate as well, this looks like a very this place looks like a deliberate burial site dedicated to this person called Brackus Fellhand, who surprisingly you both seem to have now found.
Was it
I
thought that
wonder
he was
right now. Oh, Ed! Guys, the splits. Are those warding runes the same that we painted on our arms in dirt the night we were in town outside with the ghost, and they were painted on all of the doors?
No, they are not.
That is a shame.
Well, do I recognize any of these markings as being anything else? Like, other things, like things that aren't like what we see here. Other things.
Do these things look like other things? Yes, they look like other things, Torteek. Need to be a little bit more specific there, mate.
This is Torteek talking out loud to himself. He's like, do these things look like other things that aren't these things?
Do you mean like squares and circles and triangles and lines? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they definitely look like other things that are not these things, so yeah.
And he says, well, let's see here. The script, is there script? Is there like writing on them?
Yes, there is writing on here. On certain items. You can see that there is a goblet that has writing a lot around the rim of it. And when you read it, what languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Total, Abyssal, Elvish, Primordial.
Okay, Elvish. This writing is in Elvish, and the writing simply states, "May the bearer of this goblet be always safe, and may those who drink from it be shielded from all poisons." And you find another item which looks like a gold coin, although of a denomination you don't recognize. And the gold coin itself has inscribed around it in Elvish. The bearer of this gold coin shall always be protected. Just very simple phrases like that. Almost sort of throwaway expressions of well wishing and keep being safe from things.
Does Brackus look like he was Elvish?
Roll a medicine check.
Oh, hello.
Fucking hell, natural 20. Bloody hell, jeez.
You're on a roll today, may I say so.
Yeah, you
Knock
really
on
are.
wood.
I am knocking on wood.
Well, the usual signs of Elvish lineage are nowhere to be seen. The long pointed ears, which is the usual sign, and the slightly slant to the eyes is they're no longer there. They're rotted away. It's no longer visible. But the very, very slightly elongated bone structure and almost the slightly thinner form of the skeleton does reveal that they are indeed elvish. Of at least elvish descent, if not fully elvish. You wouldn't be able to tell if they were fully elvish or not, due to the fact that the signs that would give that away are no longer there. But strong indications that there is elvish lineage here.
So, I have a theory, even though I don't know for sure. But wait, what was the wardings? You said there were wardings on some of the other things. That was all elvish, right?
Everything in here that you see or that you're able to read is elvish, yes. Of a very archaic form. You're still able to read it, but you can tell that this is an archaic form.
You're right. I think. Well, I didn't say it before, but what I noticed before was that. Wait, did I have? All right, this is Chad asking DM, the GM, a while ago. Did I? There was something I determined as Torteek that, the writing from the that was on the doors, was that of abyssal or infernal?
That was abyssal.
Abyss. Okay. I had it in my head that I was something was infernal, and I thought I might have accidentally transferring something over. I wrote it down wrong, but okay. All right, back to it. Torteek, who is I, believes that whatever Kranodyn is doing is evil. It just makes sense because I didn't say it at the time, Lila, or maybe I did. I don't remember because I've had a lot to whine about. I whined about it. Anyway, it was using the language of demons to write the protections against the undead.
Yeah, no. That's all wrong.
There wasn't the evil. It wasn't demon speak. I thought it was abyssal. What was it then?
No, you're correct. I mean, this is all wrong, as in the whole situation is all wrong.
Oh, well, all right. I thought I remembered something wrong. I'm sorry, Layla.
No. Well.
So if he wants this stuff from in here, that means he's trying to destroy, like you said already, all signs of gods from here. So it's only the demons, and maybe he wants the demons to come in from the hells to come into the prime material plane and give him omnipresent power, so he would be impotent. I'm sorry, I meant important.
Very, very similar and easy to confuse, I guess.
Yeah, impotence, importance, both deal with, men stuff.
Okay, wait. So, I think we're on the correct path here, but what is our course of action?
Well, our course of action would be to bring diplomacy to Kranodyn. And we got to do it the right way, with pomp and circumstance.
Yes, but that doesn't help the ghost. I wonder. Okay, that all makes sense. But I just wonder what happened at which point where the hero that is laid out buried here messed up so badly that everything is full of demonic trapped ghosts and hellish endless moisture. I mean, everything has mildew on it. It's terrible.
Well, it is next to an island.
Torteek and
Yeah, but
Lila.
I've been to islands. Yeah.
Torteek and Lila, just quickly roll me a history check for me, please, both of you.
History?
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. You both recall when the two ghosts, when one of the ghosts approached you and actually had a conversation with you. The ghost told you to talk with the Guardian.
Right. I don't see a guardian here, though.
What if the Guardian is the dead man?
Oh. All right. I'll go.
Or maybe his spirit is still here somewhere, and that's the Guardian.
I want to go. You really quick before we try to talk to the Guardian. I don't or dial G for Guardian. I'm going to go and look at that stuff that you said was at the tip of his sword. Was it on the sword tip or was it on the pommel?
It was at the sword tip.
On the sword.
I go take a look at that, and I lean into it, and I take a smell of it.
Leaning in and taking a good whiff without touching the sword. There is the scent of the sea. There is the scent of salt, of brine, of silt, of filth, of stagnant water. As the senses begin, as you begin to sort of pass all the senses through. There is the sudden smell of stagnant water, sudden smell of drowned things, and the sudden smell of, is it pepper? In a weird sense?
Pepper?
Very odd. Pepper, yeah. Like a very, very odd, sort of strong pepper smell suddenly in there as well. But underpinning everything is that constant smell of drowned, a body that has drowned and has rotted in the water, and the water has become stagnant around that body. It, in a very strange way, reminds you a bit of the town.
Oh.
As well and the forest around. It's almost like the scent of everything that you have experienced up until the mound has been concentrated into this one small bluish coloured slime that coats the bottom of the sword.
I take a piece. I look.
I have a herbalism kit. I wonder
Lila.
if that's any use, we could trap a little bit of it in like some little flask.
I need a cookie.
You want to put it on a cookie?
I want a cookie. I'm hungry. Can I have two?
You're not going to eat the blue stuff, promise.
What?
You're not going to eat the blue stuff, promise.
No, I'm not gonna eat the blue stuff. I'm gonna eat a cookie.
Okay, here you go. 2 cookies.
I take one of the cookies and I eat it, and I take the other cookie and I dip it onto the blue stuff at the tip of the sword.
Oh no!
As you pull the cookie away from the tip of the sword, this blue slime seems to attach itself to the cookie, and as you pull it away, it becomes like this very, very thin, almost gossamer thin strand of fluid before eventually snapping. And you now have part of a cookie which has some of this blue slime on it.
Lila was rummaging around her pack and got out her herbalism kit and has like a perfectly fine flask or vial or something in her hand. So I was like, we could just put this in here.
Yeah. All right. I'll go and try and take out a piece, just like rip off a piece of like a bedroll or a blanket or something like that, and I'm gonna try to wipe this goo off the tip of the sword.
You have some bandages which you purchased, so you could definitely easily use one of those.
Yeah.
So, you do. You wipe some of this strange bluish slime off the edge of the sword, and what's odd is that as you do this, it's like you're not even making the sword clean, even though you do end up pulling some of this slime off, and it then sort of glistens on the bandage. The bandage is pretty dirty anyway, but the bandage itself, it just seems to glisten with this kind of weird, almost snot-like consistency on it. And you look down at the sword, and you're pretty sure you wiped a whole bunch away, but that sword is still slimy.
That's strange. I would like to take a little bit into one of my herbalist vials as well. Maybe get tested properly.
Sure, that's fine. You can see this almost. I can't. I'm trying to come up with an analogy of how it looks, but I can't. Did you ever? Do you know actual slime? When you make slime with Elmer's glue and things like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is what it looks like.
All right. All right.
Proper blue slime.
Yeah, but it has almost like this electric blue color to it.
Electric blue. All right. I will then grab the sword and pull it away from him.
You grab the sword and it comes away. The bones crack as you break as you break the grip on the sword, and the finger bones fall away from the pommel. It is an old, pretty rusted sword, except for the part where the blue glistening slime is. It looks pitted and rusted from time. The guard and pommel look to have been once previously pretty well designed, with a nice leather wrapping around the hilt, although that now seems to have fallen away to dust, and you can now just see basically the tang of the sword that leads up to the pommel. So it looks like at one point it would have been a pretty decently made sword.
All right. Does it? I want to see if I can try to can wipe off the rest of that slime from the tip of the sword. If I can just get rid of it all.
Sure. You can do this. It will take a while because for some strange reason the slime seems to continuously want to stick to the sword. But eventually you are able to clean it off completely, wiping as much of this bluish stuff from it. And you do eventually expose, well, at least the bottom half of this sword. The bottom half of this sword looks beautifully made. That is where you see the quality of the sword, and you're a bit concerned now that due to the fact that the tip is now still so well preserved, and the remaining of the sword, you're worried that it actually might break due to the fact that one part is still really good and the other part is really rusted and pitted. But now that you've wiped away the remnants of this slime, you can see that there are runes carved along the length, the sort of spine of the center of the blade. You can't make out the rest because the runes would have carried on upwards towards the hilt of the sword, but you can still make out the remnants of runes inscribed into the spine of the blade. The runes do look to have elvish make.
Can I read part of what it says?
In this case, no, you can't, because these are magical runes. Roll me an Arcana, though, if you wish to try and figure out what they are.
All right.
Can I assist with the Arcana?
You certainly can. How are you going to assist, Lila?
By racking my brain.
Fair. All right. That's fair. Yes, but you can definitely assist in this regard.
Lila puts her hands to her temples and massages them and thinks real hard, like she has a bunch up look on her face. Goes, where have I seen something like this? Or heard
Thinking
about
real
it, or
hard.
read about it.
Thinking real hard, and where you have seen it before, is that you notice that some of the runes bear some similar reference to the writings on some of the coins and goblets that are scattered around the room here. These runes, Torteek, are, well, at least the ones that you can see, seem to bear something to do with slaying. They are runes of slaying.
All right.
Slaying,
Okay.
yes. But as to what other because you're only making up part of it, and you can only see that bit. You can guess that there are probably more runes further along the spine of the blade, but it's very difficult to make out because the rest of the blade is so pitted and rusted.
Does it look like the pitting and rusting is actually the blade itself? It's not like something that's a coating on the blade, correct?
No, it looks like the blade itself. The pitting and rusting looks to be the ravages of time.
No. Well, this is interesting. I don't know what this slime could be. I go and take this sword then, and kind of like flip it around, flip it around in my hand a little bit, and just kind of like look at it a little bit more. And if there doesn't look like there's anything else I can garner from it, I go and put it back on put it back in his hands.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like there's much else. Apart from revealing those runes on the tip of the blade, doesn't really seem to be much else.
So I'll then go over to that goblet you mentioned that had the runes on it, talking about whoever drinks from this will be protected. And I pour some wine in that goblet and drink some of the wine out of the goblet.
Tastes like the same wine that you poured into it.
Oh, good. I'll pour more.
Torteek. No, that's just not the respectful thing to do with the dead.
Well,
We don't want to add people to this place.
In honor of Brackus Fellhand, Brackus Fellhand, may you rest in peace. And I drink again. And I pour more in. And I say, to the gods of the Elvins, gods, may you help Brackus rest in peace. And I drink again.
as you do, a voice seems to permeate out of the space around you. It has been a long time since I heard my name spoken.
Oh. Whoa. Hello. Good.
Believe
Sure.
it.
Well,
What was that, Lila?
I just can't believe that this woke the Guardian. That's beautiful.
welcome to your tomb. We are here to talk with you and see how you all, how things are for you.
The air begins to get cold, and you can begin to see your breath beginning to steam in front of you as the temperature drops dramatically. Then the slight glow that has permeated the tomb within here from the clusters of rocks that are dotted around the room. Their glow diminishes as another glow begins to appear, situated on that plinth where the body is. And you watch as the image of a knight dressed in I was about to say full plate armor. It's not full plate armor. Dressed in old-fashioned splint armor, he begins to sit up, and you can see that he has this chainmail coif that surrounds his head. And you see he's actually very, very well armored, but you can also see the very, very thin face of a purebred elf. Slightly slanted, pointed eyes, and you can make out strands of hair sort of peeking out from underneath this male coif that surrounds and protects his head. As he sits up, looks around and sees both of you in his tomb. Why do I have trespassers into my place of rest?
Well, here's the thing. We are here. Lila, what are we here for again?
And that's why we're going to take a bit of a break, because I need some tea.
Please, Mr. Ghost, we need a little tea break. That's all.
We need a little bit of tea break.
Explain. Just a wee tea. A wee and a tea.
A wee and a tea. Yes, but I definitely need a cup of tea because I'm running out of tea here. So we're going to take a quick break here while I go and replenish said tea, and our two players have a chat with a ghost. So see you guys shortly. Good evening. We are back with some fearful fortunes while I finish pouring my tea, because I gained on tea and I need to pour tea, because in order to drink tea I have to have tea in my cup. So hi, we're back, where our heroes Torteek and Lila are. I'm currently now talking to early frames, so that's fine, but our heroes Torteek and Lila are in a mound about to have a chat with with a ghost who's very curious, potentially, maybe something a little bit more, as to why there are two individuals in his tomb. So, Torteek and Lila, you see the ghostly image of this quite well armed individual, sporting a shield and sword. The shields you can clearly see is exactly is the ghostly representation of the shields that are resting against the plinth around the plinth on which his body sits, and you can see the sword now. It's this very, very It's a longsword, and if you know the sword, Aragorn's sword from Lord of the Rings, Narsil, that very long, slender blade. You can now see in more clear detail that very long, slender blade, and very clearly see that there are runes all the way down the middle of the blade, extending from the hilt down towards the point. Strangely, though, the ghostly image, the sword in the ghostly image, also seems to have a very faint sheen of electric blue at the end of at the tip of the sword, where the sword in reality also had the same sort of electric blue slime on it.
The ghost version does too.
The ghost version does too, yes.
Oh.
So as he sits up and looks at you both. Please explain why I should not lop your heads from your shoulders now.
Well,
No.
go ahead.
We did not mean to disturb your peaceful rest with the gods for no good reason. In fact, this island seems to be haunted by a great evil, and we're here to find out why it failed. Burial mountain, and respectfully want to see it.
Sorry, Ali, you are really, really inaudible.
Oh, really? Weird.
Yeah, it kept chopping in and out a bit.
Let me switch off my Wi-Fi. It is. Is it getting better?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that over mobile data. So I was explaining to the ghost that we have come here to investigate why a great evil and the village here is that did not mean anything. We simply try to understand what has happened and maybe
Sorry, Ali. It's again, it's cutting out. It starts off good and then it cuts and then it goes down.
Kaput.
Yeah. When you were connected with your headset, it was perfect.
I will usually my headset is the annoying one. I will try again.
We don't want to lose you, Allie.
I'm not scared. I've returned.
Okay, so I will try again. How is it now? Rolling. Sound
All right.
check, mic check one.
All right, we seem to be good again.
Fun. Okay. I don't know how much you understood from that. I was trying to explain to the ghost that we were merely investigating the great evil that is haunting this island and these forests, and we did not mean any disrespect to him or his resting place with the gods. But yes, we are, since he is the epic hero who has set out on this island many hundreds of years ago, we thought maybe this mound would give us a clue about what has happened here.
Yeah, what she said.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Yes, 1 second. Oh, right. I was terrible at persuading people.
That's okay.
But I'm not trying to tell a lie, right? I'm just
No. That's why I say persuasion, not deception.
Yeah. All right. 12.
Okay. Just. This ghost, who you now presume is Brackus, is seems to be looking at you, and he's trying to peering almost with this kind of very intense look as you say all this. As you finish explaining to him what it is you decide, why you are there.
Mm-hmm.
Continues to peer at you. Before he says, I did not fail.
Oh, well, what happened then? If you could let us know, it will help us better figure out what's going on, because we think there's something wrong with this island.
I had a fear that the Devourer would survive.
Who's the Devourer?
The creature at the center of this island.
Oh.
It is the great evil I slew centuries ago.
What did this great evil do? Did it leave slime places and make people look like fishes and monkeys?
I know not of people that look like fish or monkeys. I only know that I hoped to have destroyed it forever. I did not, apparently.
What did it do?
It landed on this island several centuries ago. It is
From
not
where?
it is not from here. It is not from our world.
Oh.
I set out to slay it. And in so doing, it killed me.
I don't think you slayed it very well. I mean, so here's what's going on. There's ghosts that are haunting everywhere, and people can't come into the forest because the ghosts will kill them. And they have these types of things, and I go and I actually show him probably the remnants on my arm of what we had written down there. He goes, do you recognize this type of writing?
He does, and he bares his teeth. You are a follower?
No. But what, Lila?
We follow the path of the gods. So we are here in service to life, to the creatures that want to be here in peace, and also you.
A drink. Offer you a drink.
Me or the ghost?
Well, yeah, you too, Lila. I think all three of us, Mr. Sir Brackus and you, Lila, and I should all have a drink together for the commonality of good.
Do you offer the goblet?
I do. After I fill it up.
Of course. He looks at your proffered hand with the goblet in it. Very a little bit suspicious.
I take a sip of it first, then, and hand it to him.
He reaches out, and he reaches out for the goblet, and seems to take it, But when he draws away, you can see a ghostly image of the same goblet filled with what looks to be the same wine that you had. As you look down on the goblet in your hand, you can see that the wine inside is completely frozen. It's completely frozen.
All
right. And he takes it. He pulls it, takes it to his lips, and takes a sip before taking a really long drag of the goblet.
Hey, boy, drink up.
I have not had wine like that in a very long time. And he kind of just chucks it. He just throws it, and the goblet just disappears as he throws it.
Lila takes out a cookie and also offers it to the ghost. I mean, he can take things from our realm and turn it into immaterial ghost treats? That's amazing.
Well, apparently so. You also notice, Torteek, as you look down into the goblet, that there's no wine left. It's gone completely.
Oh, it's a neat trick. I pour some more in there, and I go, here, Lila, your turn.
I will drink.
It's decent. It's decent wine. Pretty, doesn't have any particular nose to it. It's pretty nice. He doesn't take the cookie. It appears that cookies are not something that he deems as a suitable amount of sustenance. But he puts the sword on. He puts the sword down, and you can see he puts it onto the plinth, and you see it just sort of glowing there faintly, and then puts the shield down on the ground. And kind of just leans back against the plinth. If you were not with the gods, you would not have entered here.
Yeah. Wait, what? What would have happened?
You would not have been able to.
Oh. Well, Oh, well, that's what I wanted to ask you. The only reason we have this is it prevented the ghosts that are roaming wantonly around the island from attacking us. And that's the only reason. Why is that?
Torteek, roll me a deception check, please.
I'm not deceptioning, but
Yes, you
all right.
are. Yes, you are.
Am I?
You're not telling the whole truth.
I'm not telling a lie either.
No, but you still need to roll deception because you're withholding information.
Chad honestly doesn't know what information I'm withholding.
The statuettes.
Oh yeah. I was gonna get to that. I was.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
all right, fine.
They're separate things, right?
Okay, in that case, don't roll deception. It's fine. I thought you were deliberately withholding that information. All right. He looks at the images again, and this look of disgust on his face as he just examines the kind of now dried and falling away symbols. And he says, "Those are wardings against undead."
Yeah. That's the reason why you just don't like it, because, well, it would ward against you.
Of a foul nature.
I don't think that's right. So the runes that we found in town, they make the undead, the ghosts, not attack anybody because they think we're one of them? Or the people who wear them are one of them?
That is not how they work.
No.
Those are wardings against us. We are not true undead. We are guardians placed here by Moors.
You're a guardian of Moors.
We are placed here by the bequest of Moors.
Oh. Well, here's the other thing, then. You say there was a thing that was keeping us from getting in here, and it was a little statue thing, and I go and I draw the statue in the dirt on the ground, what it looks like, and I say, that was keeping us from coming inside of your mound area, but we took it and buried it outside of the mound area so that we could come in, but it was only because they also were supposed to protect us from the ghosts and such and the undead walking around in the forest.
You have not destroyed it?
Well, no, because we don't know what it is specifically. I'm assuming it's from this creature that you destroyed or
You are
killed. Yeah?
cursed.
No, I don't
Yes,
want to
you
be
are.
cursed. No.
When you
Don't-
Why do
you
you
have
think we're
not
cursed?
destroyed those statues, you are cursed. You are bound to this creature.
No. I don't want to be
No.
bound to the creature.
Then
We
destroy
can
them.
rectify the situation.
But if we destroy them, then won't the ghosts attack and kill us?
Okay, it seems we're at an impasse. So, no, you know what? We could destroy them and rely on the gods and in the strength we find, and maybe on the Guardian if he would be willing to help us. And she kind of looks over to the ghostly hero figure.
Yeah, I go and I pour the
How can
goblet
we-
with more wine and hand it to him.
How can we protect against the undead and help the creatures and inhabitants of this island without dying immediately when we step out of the protective range of your burial ground?
The dead here did not attack you because you are bound. If you are killed, your souls will go to the creature.
I'd hate for that to happen.
All right. So we need to get the creature's still here. Then is that right?
It is. And
Well, how do
appears
we
to
get
have
rid of
gotten
it?
Stronger. You cannot.
Well, this just is not. I take a big long swig out of my jug. Wine splashing out the corners of my mouth down my chin. This is not supposed to be good. This isn't good. We're supposed to come and figure out how to help, and then Carcinogen, what's his name? No, Kranodyn. He said that if we bring your amulet to him, he could make it so that the entire island was protected from the ghosts. But we didn't want to do that because of the ghosts we spoke to saying that it would be bad for moles, and we don't want to be that either. We just want to make sure that the people on the island can live safely and without the fear of the ghosts killing them.
Mm-hmm.
Those who live on this island are lost.
Why? Can't we help them?
Any who comes to this island is usually being called by this creature, the destroyer, the devourer. Those who live here, they are lost to the creature. When they die, their souls go to him. I know not of this Kranodyn of which you speak. Perhaps they are another one called by the devourer.
think he has lived here his entire life. He seems
He too is lost.
But there's no... I mean, you said we could destroy the sculptures to free ourselves, right? To rid ourselves from the binding to this creature.
How long have
So do
you
you
had
think-
those statues?
Maybe a
Yesterday.
day.
No, this morning. This morning. Not long.
Then,
Yeah.
Then you have time.
But do you think all the others in the village, all the people that live here, they have sculptures on their own, yes? Or maybe it's...
I do not
Where does
know.
it come from?
I do not know.
Do you know the man called Lockjaw who founded this town? Did he come here with your expedition, or was it founded afterwards?
Well, I mean, insights check, Lila.
Inside.
Woohoo! Inside.
22. I'm so excited.
22. Wow.
Mhm.
He's a ghost. It's very difficult to read a ghost's face, but you're good at reading people, and this was a challenge for you. But you catch the flash of recognition across his face when you mention the name Lockjaw, and you 22. Fucking hell, it's really good. You also catch a flash of sorrow, as well as also probably something else underneath there, but generally, but sorrow and recognition are the two emotions that you immediately recognize on his face.
Sorry, the last half of that sentence broke off.
Sorrow and recognition are the two things that you recognize on his face, and something else, but you're not sure what.
But he doesn't want to get into it, I guess. So does he ignore my question, or just like change the subject?
Oh, it's. Can you just repeat your question again, because it's gone out of my head?
Just if he knows the name of Lockjaw, like if it's a person
Yes,
who
go ahead.
came on this island with his expedition back in the day,
Yeah.
or if it's somebody like far afterwards, later afterwards.
I do know the name Lockjaw. They were one of my expedition. They came with me, but were unable to help me further.
Is that because they were jerks?
No.
Because a
They
lot of
lack-
Jaws that I hear now are jerks.
Hmm.
Did they decide to... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Did they decide to try and reason with the creature, or make a deal with it instead of trying to slay it?
Magnus Lockjaw was my closest compatriot. They were the one who supported me. They were the one who helped organize the plans. They were the one that helped organize those who would sail with us to these benighted islands to defeat the Devourer. But at the final moment, when I needed him most, he ran.
Oh, that is painful.
Do you know who put you here, put your body and all your other, who made this tomb for you here? Do you know who did that?
I do not. All I remember afterwards is waking and knowing my duty.
And that is to
What does it
protect
mean?
the island from the ghost, or the foreigner to the world.
Yes.
Well, what was your friend Lockjaw's first name? Was it Lucius, you said?
Vagnos.
That sounds nothing like Lucius. What did you say Lucius for?
No, you said Vagnus. Wait, Vagnus?
Oh, where'd I get Lucius from?
Mm,
I don't know where the hell you got Lucius from, mate. He said Vagnos.
Well, maybe I need to have another drink. Did you want another drink, Brackus?
No. One was fine, thank you.
Oh, well, just in case you want it, I pour some in there and I set it down on the side of the tomb for him to take if he needs it, and I take a big swig out of the jug. So these people that are living, they're lost. What does this big creature look like? Does it look like, and I go and I describe that big thing that we saw walking past us earlier in the day?
You see him trying to understand what you're saying, at which point he shakes his head. That is not the Devourer.
What
I
is
know
it?
not that creature.
What about, does it look like these things? And I describe those little creatures that we had that would jump and attack us. You said that, I can't remember what they were called, the linglings or something?
The Riftlings.
Rifflings, yeah.
Again, he shakes his head.
Those things are all over the place too, and they go and they attack and everything.
But they seemed rather worldly, didn't you? But don't you think, like, maybe they were the dogs of the creature, the pets,
Something like that.
the hounds?
He looks across towards you, Lila. If those creatures exist, then the Devourer has gotten stronger. Not enough to leave his prison.
His prison?
Growing in strength.
You have imprisoned him when you were alive?
I had hoped I had killed it. But my task is as guardian and prisoner. It appears that all I did was mortally wound it.
Do not cut yourself short on your own achievements. That is a great thing to accomplish.
What about bass mouth? Does bass mouth mean anything to you?
Bassmouth, no.
What about a human, well dressed, with dark hair and a pointed beard? Probably might have been out this way, between 5 and 10, 15 years ago.
He, as soon as you start describing the individual, he looks You see him trying to search his memory, and but immediately starts shaking his head. That person does not ring a bell.
He said, it was a friend, there was someone we met in the town, mentioned we met him, and said that this man kept saying, follow the path to release. Does that mean anything to you?
Yes, that does.
Oh, interesting.
What does it mean?
It means that whoever was on that path was called by the Devourer to try and release it.
Oh.
All
Alright, we should not listen to that person's advice, I guess.
well, that means, it just means, when you were fighting it, did you bind it somehow?
Part of my task was to bind and then kill. Binding I did. The killing side was more challenging.
So, is there a ghostly image of the amulet around his neck, hanging down his chest?
Yes, there is.
Who is that? What is that amulet for?
He looks down and pulls it to in his visual range. That is me.
Oh. That's you fighting the Defiler.
Yes.
Was that thing? Did you have that before you fought the Defiler? Or is it here after?
I did not have this when I was fighting it.
How did it get to be in your possession?
When I awoke on my duty to commence, it was around my neck.
Really?
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, go ahead, Lila.
You said your best friend Ragnosky betrayed you and left you. But were other people in your party that traveled here with you? I mean, they must have stuck around, right? For them to build a burial mound like that. That must have been done by many people. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And maybe those same friends left the amulet there.
It is possible.
Yeah. Look at this. I go and I point over to the goblet. I hold up the goblet and I show him the writing on the goblet. And I go and I show him the shield and the other things that are in here. And I show him the body of the corpse of the horse or decay of the horse or whatever, and the dog. I said, these are all things brought here after you have passed away. So there must be someone else here, or someone that used to be here, that was in support of you, trying to help you out, to keep you here to do your job.
As you point out those items, he again looks extremely sad. So it would seem.
Do you know who they were?
I do not know.
You know what this tells me, though? It tells me that your job is very important, and they want to make sure that you continue.
Yes.
But you can't continue in your current state. I'm assuming that you can't continue in your current state. Is this the truth?
Why do you think that?
You see him trying to process what you're saying. I have been reduced to defending my space.
Can we help you extend it? By praying, by doing rituals, by, I don't know, doing something to give you more power than the beast have.
Are you willing to devote your life to this? Are you willing to stay here and be a guardian against this creature? And you can see he's looking at both. He's sort of looking between both of you. And there is an intensity to him. And you get the sense that this is that if you make this deal, as it were, he will hold you to it.
Right.
In a way that binds one's soul to an entity, effectively.
Before we talk, like Lila says about that, before we talk about binding souls and dedicating whole lifetime, I'd like to know the facts and the options. Because you must understand that such decisions are not made lightly. And we are here on a task by our order, by our religious order, to fulfill it and return. So, as we want to help you, we have also made a promise to, return to our other duties and our brothers and sisters. So
you cannot stay.
It's not about staying. We want to find a way to help, to actually, not to just fight good and evil into all of eternity, but to break this stranglehold of the creature over this island. Like you came here once because you thought there was a way to kill it and to slay it for once and for all. And while that might have not worked out as you hoped, can you tell us what your plan was?
Our plan at the time was to bind the creature down. This island was chosen as the place to bind it. It's called the Devourer because that is what it does. It consumes. We needed a way to hold it in one place, while the bravest of us proceeded to try and slay the creature.
Yeah.
We succeeded in the first. We bound it to this place. However, the cost was high, and only I was left. I thought I had killed the creature. But clearly I had only wounded it. Enough so that it was unable to do anything for a long time.
What did you use that sword there to kill it or to wound it?
He looks down at the swords, the slightly ethereal glowing one, and the more the pitted and rusted and also half good sword. Yes, that was my blessed sword.
What is that stuff there on the end of the sword?
He holds up the sword. Residue from the creature.
Oh, it's still there, even now and in the afterlife.
Unfortunately, I and it are bound.
You what?
I and it are bound.
Oh, yeah. Well, is there something that we can do to help you continue with your battle against it? Like, can we take you back to fight it and finish the job?
Yeah, there must be a way to do that, right?
Perhaps.
Well, that sounds mysterious. What are you thinking?
Take my medallion.
Yeah?
And take my sword.
Yeah?
Reforge it.
Oh.
Then follow the path. And perhaps you will find I will be able to kill this creature once again.
Will we have to take the sword and reforge it with the medallion, or just take the medallion separate with it, because that's you, and where the medallion goes, you go?
I do not know who made the medallion, but I have a sense that it is bound to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did we mention yet that the guys who kind of worship the demon creature wanted to have the medallion? They wanted to have it for a purpose.
I suspect possibly to free the creature.
So
Yeah.
whatever we do, you and the medallion, maybe if they destroy it, like we would destroy the statues, they hope to get rid of you. Oh, I see.
Yeah, that might be what it was. I think that sounds like a good idea, so we don't want to do that. And Lila, do you know how to forge?
No, I've never forged anything. I'm a herbalist and a monk.
Yeah,
I make
I don't
teas.
know how to forge either.
The sword is a symbol, that is all. The medallion is mine. My essence.
Lila, do you remember Bill?
Who was Bill again?
Bill was a young man that let us inside his house in the night time when the ghosts were coming after us.
God,
Right.
you never even asked his fucking name, and now you're calling him Bill. Jeez.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's
He's
what I
called
wrote
Bill.
down. They never gave
Obviously.
us his name.
Lila is absolutely like, yeah, oh yeah, sure, Bill, totally. He was nice
Oh
to
my
us.
God.
We're terrible monks.
Guess you are.
Well, I've got an excuse because I'm an alcoholic. What's yours?
I'm just, you know, The spirit that possesses me seems to be very terrible at recognizing and remembering names.
But Bill, do you think that Bill was like? Do you think he knows how to make forge stuff too?
Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe we,
Hmm.
or maybe we could go and talk to the mayor of the town, because the mayor of the town is supposed to be a descendant of Mr.
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw.
I'm not sure that's the best address to go here if he was the one who betrayed you.
Well, yeah, but we've got a secret weapon now, because his granddaddy was an asshole and left Mr. Brackus here to die. And it's
Yeah, but he also
technically,
seems like quite the asshole, right?
yeah, and it seems like the asshole is deep in the family, and maybe he'll feel bad for his ancestor doing that, and be like, oh, well, it's all your fault that this island is like it is, because your uncle, great granddaddy, uncle, dad, granddaddy didn't ran away.
Hmm.
I need a drink.
Um,
We
no,
reforged the sword.
I don't think we should go to anyone in the village for help. At least the people we met yet. Maybe Bill is the nicest of them all. I mean, he let us in at night, but who knows why? He didn't know us yet. Maybe he thought we would be his demon buddies in the future.
Well, if you also remember, though, most of the other people in the town don't really care for Kranodyn that much.
They do not, but not caring can also mean that they're fine with the way things are as long as they, get to be protected from the ghosts. I mean, have you heard of the banality of evil?
Yeah, no, I'm never eating a banana again then if they're evil.
That's no bananas are okay. Wait, I just would for now not extend unnecessary trust and secrecy to the other villages. That is a great pun.
What are you talking about? So how we regardless, Mr. Brackus here, Fellhand, wishes us to reforge his sword. Where can we do this at, Mr. Brackus Fellhand?
I do not know. The sword is a symbol, nothing more. It will aid in the destruction of the creature.
Is it also alright if we polish the sword and maybe give the handle a bit of new binding? We both do not know how to forge. I'm very good at polishing, making things nice.
Renew the runes.
Oh, yeah. Can you show us can you tell us what the runes, all the runes say, so we know what to do, because we can't see all of them on the rest of the blade.
Use this, and he holds up the ethereal sword that he has, that you can see there, and you can see clearly the runes that are all seem to be very faintly glowing from the hilt of the sword, from the hilt right down to almost the very tip of the sword. And Torteek, due to your elvish nature, due to you being able to read Elvish, and and your Arcana check from before, you recognize that yes, the runes talk about slaying the fiend and the demon, and protect against the intrusion of demons. That is their general gist. These are, of course, arcane runes. So each rune is a little bit more complicated than just simply a statement of a statement. But collectively, they talk about slaying the fiend and demon and protecting against the intrusions of demons.
All right.
Okay, I think I can do this. And Lila sits down. And she spreads a blanket. She unpacks some candles from her pack. She lights an incense stick. And somehow magically, it's like a tiny, tiny heater that she lights with a pot of tea starting to bubble. And she picks out this like tiny paint set for making watercolors and aquarelles, like a little, and practices the swings of the runes on that. She also polishes the sword, makes it really nice. The old string that binds the handle gets replaced with like nicer laces and like a leather string or something she has on her back somewhere. This kind of stuff.
Okay.
So it's just
This is going to require a couple of rolls from you.
Yes.
For the polishing and the creation of the sword, to make it look less pitted and rusted, and to bring some life back to it, I need a dexterity roll from you.
Is there any way I can assist her with this?
How would you assist in this?
Well, maybe just taking her lead and helping with what she's doing, or making more of what she needs to do it with.
Okay. I'll
or finding help.
I'll allow an advantage roll on this one. So roll your dexterity check again, Lila.
You were gone for a moment.
Yep, no worries. Roll your dexterity check again, Lila. Torteek is helping you out here by keeping things prepared, so you're not having to do everything by yourself. He's helping you with keeping swatches and things. Oh, very good.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, no, that actually definitely helps, because where polishing the sword to a point where it actually looks more like a sword that requires a little bit of TLC and less about a sword that should be thrown away, which would have taken you half a day to do, now takes you only 2 hours.
Nice.
As to the runes, I need a performance check from you here. And unfortunately, Torteek, this is not something you can help with.
What about
performance? My nemesis that has to do with the charisma.
Well, this is the thing. Either performance. Carry on, Torteek, or you want to.
I was going to say, if we're doing it together, what if she was doing most of the work with the polishing? What if I take the time to let's put the actual runes on there?
Sure, you can absolutely do that.
Yeah, sure.
That still requires either a performance or a dexterity roll.
I'll go performance.
Okay. 21. Amazing. Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah.
We're working together.
No, that's really good. Since you're using the same sword that was previously there, you're able to just make out where the runes were, and are able to are able to engrave the runes back into the sword and make them more visible. With the help of Lila wiping away loose bits of rust and dirt from the sword itself, and able to clean everything up and make it somewhat visible again. You actually bring the sword back to a certain semblance of its original beauty. It's still got a long way to go. Basically, in order to make it back to where it really was, you need to make a new sword. It is far too far gone past that point. But you now have a sword which, once the final rune gets gently carved into the blade, begins to very faintly glow with a very dim, pale white light.
Nice.
You have the
Perfect.
sword of Brackus. You have the sword of Brackus.
Oh.
But
That is good.
this does take a long time, and you do spend, since you're doing that and that, this will now take 3 hours to make, meaning that
5 hours altogether.
no, 3 hours in total. With the combination of you both working on the blade, this takes 3 hours in total. With Brackus there occasionally making a comment about the precision of the rune, of the particular rune that you're trying to inscribe into the sword. Technically, you need various different types to do this, but I'm kind of waiving that because this is a bit more epic. You do spend a significant portion of your remaining time to get this done, and you get the sense that if you leave the mound now, you have maybe a couple of hours before nighttime falls.
Honestly, I would like to ask our gracious host, the ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Are we safe here at night? Can we stay in your burial mound?
Looks at you. You wish to lie in the grave of another.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like really you're necessarily dead because we're talking to you now, and we're now close to good friends because we're doing this for you and we're working together here. So yeah, we'll have an overnight and yeah.
Are we having a sleepover with an ancient heroic being?
Yeah. Sleepover. I brought the wine.
Indeed you have.
I brought some cookies, which you have still refused to try, but that is okay.
Perhaps you two incongruous individuals were the one to finally release me from my service.
You deserve a rest, friend.
Yeah. If we can help get this defiler out of here, that will help you so you can rest, like you said, and it also will help the rest of the town, of the here, so that they will be free.
It's probably the first time. It doesn't take a high insight or anything to see this, but it's probably the first time you actually see You see the mask, because it's very clearly he's had a mask up for the most part. You see the mask slightly drop. You see a look of utter exhaustion. Perhaps. But for tonight, rest then here. The night is for the ghosts. And I may have some tasks to do.
All right. I remember what was once lost can be found.
Also, let us pray a bit. You know, the gods surely still smile upon you.
I hope that he does. And with that, he floats. Well, he heads towards the exit and seems to. And basically, he doesn't duck underneath. He just walks straight through it and heads out the door. You both can see that night is beginning to fall through the through the entrance to the mound, and you both are left. The temperature slowly rising again as he leaves and goes on whatever task that he has, and that you both seem to have helped him in some way. But with that, we'll see what happens as you both wake the following morning, rested, and probably and we'll see what dreams you have next time.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. This is a great game. I'm having a good time.
Yes. All the twists and turns.
I did not expect that to happen.
That we
honestly.
chat with the ghost?
Yeah. Well, it was funny because when you mentioned so I'm just looking for my generic background. Here we go. When you mentioned about going out to perform your little ritual of pleasurable things, that like already in the back of my head was going, interesting. That will attract attention. It will, and it would absolutely have attractive attention. But then you started fucking around with the stuff in the tube, so I'm like, okay, well that's definitely going to attract attention. And there were so many ways that could have gone. There were so many ways that could have gone. I was prepared for you guys to actually have to full on fight the dude.
I was waiting for that to have to happen too.
Yeah.
And now we have a sleepover and a ghost friend.
But now you have a sleepover and a ghost friend. Yeah, like I genuinely was prepared for you guys to fight him because there was a trigger point. There was a trigger point for that to happen. You didn't do it. You didn't find the thing that would cause a trigger. So I'm proud. I'm happy. This is fun. This is interesting.
This is good. This is good.
This is interesting.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Of course, this means that our campaign here is it's approaching the end. There's only a few.
Yes, it is.
So there's maybe 2, possibly 3 more sessions in this, and then we'll have to wave goodbye to Torteek and Lila, depending on how it turns out. So yeah.
For now.
Yeah, for now we'll see. We may see them in the future. We'll have to see. But as usual, we do go to raids. I'm trying to keep this quick because I know you have to head off, Chad. Who are we going to raid today? Who are we going to raid? Who is online that I can raid? Raid. Have I done Mythic ODN this recently? I have not. We're going to go and raid them. It's been a while.
It's been a while since I have raided all these people.
Yeah, we're going to go raid some Mythic ODN. They're playing some Pathfinder Kingmaker Live, episode 41.
Nice.
They're fun guys. They're really nice. Very, very entertaining. So head over there, give some loves, likes, hugs, and all that wonderful stuff I know you guys are capable of. I will be back next week with the usuals, Scarlet Guard, the Hidden Worm, and these guys for role-playing shenanigans, because that's what this channel has turned into, and I'm kind of glad about it, because that's what I really enjoy doing. So yeah, otherwise guys, take care of yourselves, love yourselves, give yourselves big hugs, give your loved ones big hugs, and we will see you all again soon. Bye!
Bye, everyone!
Bye.